Yo, what's up guys, and welcome to my round 2 battle of the ADV Cup for the Smogon Classic. This time I'm playing Laroxyl, which sounds like either a drug or a Final Fantasy character, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's like a medicine or some type of thing, I'm not sure, but this is ADV. If you guys missed my round 1 game of the ADV Cup, you can check that out somewhere on my channel. But he leads Metagross. No, I lead Metagross, excuse me. He leads Tyranitar. Pretty obvious that I can just Meteor Mash. It's pretty safe, especially because I'm not choiced in any sort of way. He reveals the Fortress right here as I do miss my Meteor Mash. That's actually pretty crucial because I do have a Magneton in the back, and I am going to try and trap this Fortress, as it thankfully works out for me as he gets up a Spike. However, because I did miss that Meteor Mash, I wasn't able to get enough damage on this Fortress to the point where I can knock him out with the Hidden Power Fire. It did not live on Sturdy. Sturdy was an ability back then, but it wasn't the focus sash that it is these days, so he's able to retaliate back with the Earthquake and knock me out. However, I can go right out into my Metagross. I do have the Earthquake of my own. I could also threaten him with an HP well, I do have the HP Grass, but I didn't want to reveal it right there since it would not have knocked him out. By going for the Earthquake, as he does reveal his Swampert, he makes a good play by going right for Protect, just either scouting for the Hidden Power Grass or the Explosion, though there was no way I was going for Explosion right here just because he has an 8% Fortress, and I'm not going to risk that thing coming in. So I do reveal the HP Grass. Now, I am a bit of a wuss right here, I guess you could say, and go for, well, not really a wuss. I go for the Meteor Mash, expecting him to switch out to something that can take on the HP Grass. Maybe I should have went for Earthquake because I would have been able to catch his Metagross coming in, but I can take his EQ as he is definitely a more offensive variant than I am. I have a bit more bulk than he does because my Earthquake does a hell of a lot to his Metagross. So hoping he doesn't explode right here, I actually go out into my CB Ments since I could dodge the incoming Earthquake if he wants to go for that. And now that Swampert is actually at 84%, I can potentially 2-hit KO with high rolls on Hidden Power Flying. Though that's probably just a dream since after leftovers it's more than likely not going to happen. I fire off a Choice Band and Brick Break just in case he wanted to bring out anything. Pretty much Brick Break hit everything. Tyranitar, Metagross, as well as the Swampert. It also knocked out Metagross at the range it was at. So he reveals his Salamis. Now due to Sandstorm, I do see the leftovers. Now leftovers can mean he is either the special variant with Hidden Power Grass, Flamethrower, Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw is special. Dragon type is special in this generation. Specifically, and or he could be a Dragon Dance set. I don't think the Dragon Dance set is personally that great on Ments. I prefer CB or Special. Of course, this is like my own personal preference, but I was thinking it'd be more along the lines of a special Ments to support a potential DD Tyranitar sweep, especially because he does have spikes. So basically, special Ments lures Swampert, which is one of the checks to DD T-Tar. T-Tar is like the undisputed king of ADB, and I thought it would be more along the lines of a special one. So I go out to my Snorlax on the HP Grass. He actually tries to catch my Swampert, which I do have the back that he has not seen yet. So good play on his part. Now right here, I did not expect him to want to stay in because the Body Slam had the chance to paralyze him. I would have done about 50%, would have weakened him, but I fired off an Earthquake trying to predict his Metagross don't want to come out since that could have taken the Body Slam or even his Tyranitar, as that does not work out for me. But this turn I actually fire off Explosion just in case he wants to try and predict me to want to switch out and go for the Dragon Claw. As you can see, it is special, which is why it does a lot less than Brick Break to Snorlax, as I am able to survive that, go right for the Self-Destruct and knock him out. Decide to reveal my Swampert at this point just because from what I've seen, Tyranitar and Metagross, Swampert beats them unless it's HP Grass or Metagross booms on it, which I do have Protect to play around. He actually goes out to his own Swampert on the double down, as I'm going to throw off a Toxic. Protect is of course going to negate that, and I actually decided to go for the Earthquake right here just in case he wanted to be a bit cheeky and try and bring out his Metagross on the next Toxic and then try and boom on me or play around with my Protects. I was so tempted. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I was so tempted to go for the WEQ right here because basically if he went for like Leech Seeds or something, then my Metagross ended up coming out and then I can just boom on something. So I was pretty positive he'd either Baton Pass or Hard Switch, but I did not act on it. I went out to my Salamence as he ended up going out into his Metagross. I pretty much expected like Leech Seed or anything right there, or even though I think Salamence was just a better play all around if he did double. So I fire off a CB Earthquake as he is going to switch back out on his Swampert. At this point I revealed my own Swampert and Metagross. I don't expect him to go for Ice Beam, so I actually make a bit of a risky play and go for another CB Earthquake, putting him in range of a third one as he does fire off a Hydro Pump trying to catch either my Metagross or my Swampert. Now right here I'm expecting him to want to go for Protect, and I don't want him to get leftovers. I also don't want Celebi to want to come out if he chooses to go out to that. So I decided the all-around best play would be going out to my Metagross because I can live one hit from Celebi and I can go for Explosion in any case and get a kill. He's going to protect right here as I am going to fire off an Earthquake just in case he wants to bring out his Metagross on my Explosion. And I guess I could have just exploded right here, but I really wanted to be a bit more aggressive and try to catch his Metagross right there. That way I could boom on something else. Though Tyranitar could obviously revenge kill me with the Earthquake after, but then at that point my Salamence would come out. At this point, I actually do have a Heracross in the back. It is Salakberry Heracross because this is the same team that I did use in round 1, or one of the same teams I did use. So I know that even if I just keep Swampert low, I just click Mega Horn and win the game. Celebi goes down, Tyranitar goes down. Celebi is usually faster than Heracross, and it does tend to carry Psychic, but it does not knock me out from full by no means, so I pretty much just click Mega Horn and win the game. So Earthquake was just, I think, the safer play right there, as he is able to knock me out with his own Earthquake. However, I can go out into my Heracross. Obviously, I'm going to take that Spike and that Sandstorm upon entry because it's his ADV, but I'm still not in range of Psychic, even if he wants to protect. He doesn't protect as I miss the Mega Horn, and he's in Torrent, so this Hydro Pump is going to do a hell of a lot. And unfortunately, due to Sandstorm and all that stuff, pretty much the Mon that would have won the game easily right there. Of course, I had to hit Mega Horns. Close Combat doesn't exist. I don't have Brick Break on this thing. I have Hidden Power Rock. And unfortunately, I did miss right there. But thankfully, he decided to sack his Swampert right here. I say thankfully because, well, it doesn't really matter, I suppose, because now I actually have to win a 50-50. But had Swampert been alive, maybe it could have tanked like a Brick Break or something from my Choice Band Immense. But my Heracross, unfortunately, is going to go down in Sandstorm. Would have been great to hit that, but now I can go out to my Salamence, and I kind of have to get a kill right here. I kind of have to predict it right. If I go for Earthquake and he stays in with Metagross, great, he's dead. Or if he goes out to T-Tar trying to predict an HP Flying, T-Tar is like his way of winning, so I doubt he's going to do that. So it's either do I go for Earthquake right here and knock him out, is he going to go out into his Celebi? I actually go for the Hidden Power Flying. I click it right here as he does bring out his Celebi, and this is great because I am able to knock him out with that upon switching. And down goes that monster. So Metagross is going to come out, and I know that if he decides to go for Boom, predicting my Swampert, I win the game anyway because I do have Choice Band and Brick Break on my Salamence to revenge kill his Tyranitar at any given point in time. So I go out into my Swampert as he does get a crit Meteor Mash, and I don't want to risk him going for the Explosion right here, so I decided just to throw off or Protect, as he actually does go right for the Explosion, doesn't even try and go for an Earthquake. So that worked out great for me because even though my Swampert is lower, which means that he has a chance to flinch me with Rock Slide, since +1 Tyranitar is pretty much his best way of winning. So I still got out there on top with my Swampert, though at the same time, maybe I should have just let him knock out my Swampert, so I could have just clicked Brick Break versus Tyranitar. I don't know, it's hindsight. Depends what he did right there. But I'm going to go right for the Earthquake as he is going to fire off a DD, and then fire off a DD. He's going to go for the Dragon Dance, as now he's going to go right for the Rock Slide and flinch me, unfortunately. And after that flinch, Earthquake is a roll to knock him out. I figured Hydro Pump is the better play than getting the roll on him, just because there's no Sandstorm special defense boost in this generation. Thankfully, he does not flinch me. I'm able to land the Hydro Pump, and that is going to be game. So even though my Heracross missed and the Meteor Mash early on, thankfully we were able to come through. So here we are with game 2. This is a best of 3. He's going to lead Gengar, I lead Zapdos. Now, unless he has Hypnosis and wants to mess around with hitting it right now, this is typically a good lead matchup for me. I take Ice Punches anyway from this thing. I threaten it with Thunderbolts. I could be Rest Talk. I even lead Zapdos, so it's likely that he knows that I'm Baton Pass variant. But I lead off with Zapdos as he leads off with his Gengar. He's going to reveal the Claydol right off the bat, as I'm just going to throw out a Thunderbolt, just trying to weaken this Gengar. I do have I do have an SD Heracross in the back, not the same Salic when I've been running, but an SD Lumberry, and it actually needs Gengar to take a little bit of damage before it can knock it out with Rock Slide. But I go for Sub right here just in case he wants to throw off like an Earthquake, predicting me to want to switch out to something that can resist an Ice Beam. As he does throw off an Ice Beam, I hard switch directly into my Zapdos. I could have Baton Pass, I suppose, or I had switched directly into a Regice. I could have Baton Pass with my Zapdos, but I decided that hard switching was just a better play, as Regice pretty much takes on Claydol anyway, so I figured he'd switch out to something that can pretty much resist the Ice type attack, maybe like a Bulky Water, though a Bulky Water doesn't necessarily beat Reggie because of the chance of Psy-Up, or Psychic, whatever, Psych-Up. There's also Explosion and all that thing. So I fired off a Thunderbolt as Metagross is going to come out. He makes a really good play and goes right for the Earthquake. Expecting him to go out to something that can reveal the Steel move right there, as that is definitely Choice Banded damage based on the fact he did 80. So I'm going to switch out into my Zapdos as he makes another good switch out into his Tyranitar, predicting maybe my Zapdos to want to come out. I do have the baton pass. I am faster. Choice Scarf does not exist in this generation, so there's no fear of him being faster than me. So I'm gonna go right back out into my Metagross, pretty much sack it. I'm thinking this might be Dragon Dance Tyranitar. However, I do have a Dugtrio in the back, and I do have a little bit of bulk on my Dugtrio to the point where I don't think he can knock me out from full. And I'm also adamant Choice Banded Dugtrio, not Jolly, so I actually do have the chance to potentially knock him out. I don't get the roll there, but thankfully his Ice Beam isn't enough to pick me off, as I am able to knock him out with the second Earthquake, and I kind of just wanted to get rid of Mons that pretty much Regice, or Regice, however you want to say it, doesn't like, because Regice checks Gengar, checks Claydol, unless Gengar explodes on it or lands a Hypnosis, as you can see, because he does go for Hypnosis. Unfortunately, he does miss. It's not the most accurate move, obviously, so there's nothing I could do about that. Now, right here, I kind of expect him to go right out to Metagross, just because if he missed another Hypnosis, I would get off about 70% on his Gengar for absolutely nothing with a modest Ice Beam. So I expected Metagross to want to come out, so which is why I doubled out into my Dugtrio, trying to trap it, as he does go for another Hypnosis, and unfortunately miss again. And I guess at this point, he doesn't want to take damage from an Choice Banded Rock Slide, so he's actually going to switch out into his Metagross, predicting my Rock Slide, trying to get the in, as I went right back out into Regice, whatever, however you say it, as obviously this is not a good situation for me. So I'm going to switch out to my Zapdos. Again, definitely Choice Banded damage based on the fact that Meteor Mash did 10 million to me. But I know that I can either sack my Zapdos right here to be able to take him on with my Dugtrio. Like, in hindsight, I could have potentially went for the HP Grass right there, because regardless of if he knocked me out or not, or switched, Dugtrio came out anyway if he stayed in, and I would have been able to knock him out. But he's going to fire off a Psychic with his Claydol, as at this point, I can just throw off an Ice Beam. I don't necessarily have to predict his Metagross at all, just because I do have Zapdos in the back to sack, and then I can go out to Dugtrio and reliably revenge kill him. So I don't really mind if he switches out or stays in with his Claydol, pretty much. So I'm going to throw off another, actually not going to throw off an Ice Beam. I'm going to double back out into my Zapdos, expecting him to want to switch out to something that could take on this Regice, maybe like a Bulky Water or something, as I'm able to get off a nice amount of damage, 53% with the Thunderbolt, and in exchange for his Metagross's life, because my Dugtrio is going to come in, got the Arena Trap, that Metagross is not going anywhere, able to knock him out with the Earthquake, as he is going to reveal the Moltres. Now, Moltres could be Agility, it could be a Sunny Day variant, it could be a Will-O-Wisping variant, which is pretty much on all sets anyway. I think Agility would run Sunny Day Will-O-Wisp as well. But either way, I am going to reveal my Suicune in the back, because I can take on the incoming Fire move if he wants to go for that. I can also take the Will-O-Wisp if he wants to go for that. And at this point, I have a few plays. I could go right for Calm Mind. I could throw off a Hydro Pump. And I really don't want to mess around with this Moltres, especially because it's one of the things that's faster than my Heracross in the back. And unfortunately, not Salic. I wish I was Salic Berry Heracross in this game, because I would have just won at this point with an SD up. But I'm going to fire off that Hydro Pump as he reveals Celebi. Now, I doubt he's going to go for any attacking move with Celebi, just because I do have Regice in, and then Regice, once it's in, it pretty much gets a kill versus any of his members. So I make a bit of an aggressive play right here. I stay in expecting the Baton Pass or Hard Switch as I fire off another Hydro Pump, as he is going to go out into his Gengar, and that does a chill 70%. Now, something to note about Celebi: if it's a Baton Pass variant, it's more than likely Calm Mind. It could be Calm Mind, Recover, Baton Pass, and Psychic. They don't usually run Hidden Power Grass on the Calm Mind variants unless they're like offensive and they're staying in Calm Mind variants. So it's more than likely he doesn't have Hidden Power Grass, which is like Celebi's main grass move. It's not, I think it's besides like Giga Drain, I guess, in this generation, but Giga Drain is like so weak. Either way, well, so is Hidden Power Grass, but Hidden Power Grass has more PP than Giga Drain. But either way, I'm going to go out to my Regice, as he is going to bring out the Gengar, and obviously I don't want to take a T-Bolt, so that's why Regice was just the main switch. And I decided just throw off an Ice Beam, no reason not to. It's neutral on Moltres, it hits everything else hard as hell or knocks them out. So throw off that Ice Beam, as he is going to reveal the Destiny Bond right there, so he's going to trade my Regice for his Gengar, as I decided that Suicune is just my best bet at this point. Suicune takes on Moltres and Claydol. I was thinking about going Dugtrio, because if I got Dugtrio in on Celebi, I could knock it out with the Adamant HP Bug. But I got out Suicune, and at this point I can't actually go for Calm Mind, because if I do and he explodes, that's a dead Suicune. So I throw off an Ice Beam, knowing that I would knock him out that range, as Celebi is going to come out. And at this point, I'm pretty sure he's a Calm Mind variant of Celebi, and I really don't think he could touch me unless he has like Psychic or anything like that. I also don't want to switch directly into Dugtrio, just because after he recovers, which is more than likely what he's going to go for in that turn, I cannot knock it out with HP Bug 100%. I really want to put him in 100% range to knock him out. I don't have to deal with any rolls, and then I can just Rock Slide. But of course, I'm also fearing the potential of Agility Moltres, which can obviously outspeed Dugtrio after an Agility and knock me out with like HP Grass or something. So he reveals the Calm Mind right here. As again, I'm not too worried because these typically Baton Pass variants don't typically run Hidden Power Grass on them. They run Psychic. That way Heracross doesn't boost up all over them. As pretty much at this point, it's okay if I go for Calm Minds or if I keep him low with Ice Beams. I'm also trying to keep him to the point where I can knock him out with HP Bug. But at the same time, I'm a little bit scared of switching directly into Dugtrio on a Psychic. Because let's say I switch out to my Dugtrio right now. Like, I would have knocked him out 100% with Adamant HP Bug at 82%. Just because he's more of an offensive variant, especially because he's faster than my Suicune. But if I brought it in and he went for Psychic, Dugtrio went down, and I have to deal with a +2 Celebi, which obviously knocks out Heracross, and then Suicune doesn't deal with that as well as it would have with a couple boost ups. So right now we're both neutral, and it also is, again, a good situation for me. I'm not sure why he's just boosting up repeatedly. Again, I'm willing to sack my Suicune to get rid of the Celebi. That way I can just click Rock Slide with my Dugtrio. And even then, I wouldn't even have to just click Rock Slide because if I bring out Heracross on the turn that he brings out Claydol, because after that he'd only have 2 Pokemon, obviously, if Celebi went down, I'd be able to just knock him out with the Mega Horn or even predict Moltres. So he actually decides to Baton Pass right here into his Moltres, as I did fire off an Ice Beam. And we're both at the exact same boost, so we're pretty much neutral. So at this point, I can knock him out with Hydro Pump no matter what. And his only way of basically coming out on top is if he's a Sunny Day Solar Beam variant. And even then, he needs a crit on my Suicune to knock it out. After that, he needs to get off the Sunny Day, and then he needs to crit me with Solar Beam to knock me out, because it doesn't knock out Suicune from this percentage. Or if I miss enough Hydro Pumps and his HP Grass crits or anything like that. But unfortunately, this was a point where my opponent timed out. But like I said, bar hacks, which is possible in Pokemon, it always happens. I wasn't gonna lose in this matchup, and at the point that Celebi was at, it wouldn't be able to knock me out with any attack. I could just go for double Ice Beams after that and beat everything. So that is going to be a game, a little bit anticlimactic for the ending, but like I said, bar hacks, which is always possible in Pokemon. Never ever cut that out. Like, never ever remove that from the equation. But yeah, so I make it to round 3 of the ADV Cup. I hope you guys all enjoy. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe, do your thing, and I will see you guys later. Cue the outro.